Hi, Frank Aldridge here. Hey, look, just wanted to talk you through our project management training workshop. So this little video, it's just about me talking you through where this workshop came from and I guess some common problems we see and then how we go about fixing them through the training. So big part of this though is a number of years ago, about 2014 in actual fact, I was sort of frustrated with the way business was going. We were working on a lot of contracts, and I guess we just saw some really sort of bad behaviours, mostly around master servant and that sort of stuff. So at the time, my coach challenged me to come up with a new model, so we did, and it was really a new paradigm. So it's a new paradigm for both procurement projects and project projects. So what that really is collaborative, courteous, and considerate. Collaborative being, hey, just getting the best brains to work together to get the best outcomes. Courteous being respect without rank, and then considerate being, think of others. So we've just found that, hey, the more you do that, the more you work with that during your projects, the better it all goes. So what we find though, when we're working with people when they first start on projects is, first of all, they just don't know where to start. They're just lost, and so that's pretty common. Then what we find is they, rather than sort of really plan things, they just wing it. They just sort of rip into it. We call that flying by the seat of the pants, and often that means you end up with burnt pants. And then they wonder sort of why things don't go so well and their projects are behaving badly. So what this workshop really is around is addressing these concerns. And we start off with just some sort of solid thinking foundations, and from that we then come up with a trusted roadmap, and then basically confident project delivery. So what we've based a lot of our stuff on is techniques and tools that I've developed over the years. We've done a powerful lot of particularly procurement projects in the last 15 years, but even in the last 7 I've done about 115 projects using these techniques and tools. So where we start off with is really just around some foundation blocks. These are thinking tools, these are selling tools, how to sell your idea to get that across. And a lot of our stuff nowadays is also based around some principles that we learned through a book called How Big Things Get Done. And that was a book studying how over 10,000 large projects, what went wrong with them, what went right with them. We've just built some key principles in out of that book into the training. So that's the first part, foundation blocks. Then we've got a strategy tool that this is really useful, really for anything that happens in a project, right from the outset through something goes right or wrong in the project. I learned this technique back in my days at Shell, so best part of 30 years ago, and I've just used it ever since. Then where we head after that is a thing called the Right Track Workshop. I'm really proud of this because I invented it, and so it's just a workshop that we do at the front end of projects. Get a whole bunch of people in a room. We can do them online too, but we've got 2 versions for that. But just to get a whole lot of key information out of their heads as quickly as possible. It's in the room stuff is all post-it notes, flip charts, really tactile, working with groups. And again, it's around this sort of collaborative theme of getting good people working together. But it just works really well, and it gets a lot of the key information we need right from the get-go. Then we've got this thing called the planning jam session. This is another flip chart post-it note technique, but it's how we plan the actual framework of the project, and again, really fast techniques for doing that. I guess one of the key things here is in the actual workshop, we pick on about 3 or 4 real projects, and then we take them through all this stuff. We take them through the Right Track Workshop, we take them through the planning jam session. So A, it gets a whole lot of the work done for the people on the course, but B, they get to see it in action. Then we've got a piece around the team turbocharger. This is really just a handful of really fundamental tools and techniques to get your team working better together. Some of them in there, like the collaborator accelerator. Again, this is a little invention of mine, but it just works really well, and it makes things go a whole lot faster. And then we've got the mission control panel. That's the last bit, and that's really just tools and stuff to control how the actual projects are going. So, if you were sort of wanting to build a multi-million-dollar skyscraper, hey, look, you probably need a bit more than this workshop. But if you're doing everyday sort of projects, all sorts of topics, doesn't really matter what it is. We've worked on hundreds, and then this has got some good stuff for you. So I just want you to have a look at your thinking and say, hey, look, traffic light, where am I on this sort of fundamental stuff? Am I red? Hey, no good at all. Orange, like a little bit. Or green, hey, look, we've really got this under control. So where are you at on that? Just do a little mental one on yourself. Same with the strategy tools. What have you got around that? Same with the Right Track workshop. What do you do to start planning a project? How well are you doing that sort of stuff? The actual project plan itself, how's that all going for you? Again, just what are you scoring yourself? Red, orange, or green? And then the same around the team stuff. And then finally, how you're controlling things. So if you're anything like me, when I first started, I would have probably been oranges and reds on most of those. But over the years, we've got more and more, I guess, these things ticked off. We've got better and better at it. If you sort of got a few red lights going on in there, hey, this workshop's probably a good place for you to be. So if you want some more information on that, just give us a yell. You can either click for more information on the link, or you can even register for one of our workshops. Let's Go for Your Life. We'd love to see you along. We just think that this is getting people going in the right direction on their projects, making their life a lot more controlled and a lot less stress. So hopefully I'll see you around.